Da da da! What's my good cheer? Welcome, everybody. Let's give YouTube a couple minutes to get those notifications out. In the meantime, if you've never popped into one of my lives, hi, I'm Cindy. I explore the inside and the outside, and boy, was I on the inside today. And not necessarily in my head. I'm just saying I was inside my apartment. Oh my goodness, what a day I had. It was great. It moved me forward in unexpected ways, but I feel so good at the end of the day at all I accomplished by making a decision, by making a snap decision in the second. And whether it was a good one or a bad one, we'll wait to see. So far, I think it's a good one. It made me a lot of work today. I actually tore my entire kitchen apart, like completely apart. And then I had to wash everything down and put it all back together, right? Big chore, big hard chore, right? It's like moving day. Right? Getting the donations ready to go, scrubbing everything down. I even cleaned my oven. I got out the oven cleaner and I sprayed the oven and I cleaned the oven. Oh my goodness, look who's here. Hello, Melvin. Hello, Melvin. How's your week been going, dear? I've been hard at work. We had some construction crew in today, or some work crews in the apartment today, and I've been hard at it all day. All proud of myself, right? And to be able to show up here with a little bit of energy still left, and I could have done my live a little bit earlier, but I was in it. Once I'm in it, I gotta keep going. Otherwise, I would be sleeping in a bed, sharing room with my kitchen cupboards, all my dishes and everything, because I had nowheres to put everything. I had to put everything on my bed, and oh my goodness, it's all done now. I'm going to wake up tomorrow morning and feel very accomplished. It made for a busy set of days off, but I'm still making that movement. Now, here's a gooder though. I don't know if anybody else noticed, but we picked this word yesterday, acceptance. Word number 23. We're going to work all week with this word, right? Acceptance. Word number 23. When I said, seems to me, did we recently do this word? Maybe on, Saturdays on Instagrams, maybe I picked this word or something, and right, but it seems like we've just been working with this word. And so I looked at my list, and sure enough, word number 15, week number 15, we had the word acceptance. Little bit of breadcrumbing, a little bit of serendipity, a little bit of curiosity as to why. Like, I expect some of these words we're going to do more than once. But that's the idea. We do it more than once because there were more lessons to be had, that we just touched the surface. But when I accidentally wrote on my list that word twice, and within 23 weeks, we got both those words. And who's to say I might have written one of the other powerful words is going to show up again too in that. But I said if we accidentally and we picked the same word in that moment, I would decide whether or not to carry on during the whole week with the word. I didn't even notice that there was an option, that we had already done this word. I just went right into it again. But today I was thinking about why. Why did I write that word down twice? And why did I pick them pretty close together, right? Eight words, eight powerful words in between those two uh those 2 weeks that we had playing with the same word. And so for me, I took it like okay, I'm missing something with this word acceptance. How did we cover this word acceptance that week? And we talked a lot about me accepting my place within the family, within my community, within my school peers, within my work peers. Like I've always been very accepting. Even my marriage falling apart. Oh my goodness. It was like, right? Any guy who wanted to break up with me, right? That would be the perfect person to break up with because I didn't cause a fuss at all. I just let that play out the way it played out. And not to say that it wasn't difficult and it wasn't painful, but it wasn't a show. There was no fireworks. There was that acceptance there. So today I was thinking as I'm cleaning the cupboards and washing dishes and sweeping and washing floors and cleaning oh my goodness. I was in contemplation. I didn't even have, for the most part, anything going on. No music, no lessons in the background. I just used it as a day for contemplation. I got the laundry done too in between all of that. Ah. But that's the thing, right? It kind of ties in these past few weeks, and we're going to send some good cheer out there. Let's hope that it gets to its destination and becomes a false alarm. False alarm. You're going to get to your destination. You're going to, sorry. Hey, everything's good to go. And they'll go back to the station all perfectly good, right? So, I've always been that person to accept my place, accept it off. And Melvin here saying it's easier that way, Cindy, just to accept. But I'm kind of thinking now that maybe that's the problem, that I was so eager to give up with the first pushback, with the first difficulty, with the first hiccup, the first catastrophe, the first failure, that, there was a time that I would just give up, right? I would accept that I wouldn't accomplish whatever I accomplished. I'd accept that I'd never meet that goal. I would accept that I would never meet Prince Charming. I would accept all these silly things, and I would do this on a daily basis, right? So getting this word again this week, I thought, okay, well, what am I not getting in this? And then we had this word integrity, right? We were talking about prerequisites, getting one lesson before, right? Getting a lesson that will open things up a little bit more. Last week we had this word integrity, right? And I tied it to my values. What in me says give up? I have never been a give up kind of person, right? When I'm talking about my values, I have to say that there must have been some boundaries that I allowed to be crossed, right? In this word acceptance, because I just accepted, even if I knew better, I I accepted that. I better not open my mouth. I better not say anything, right? I accepted what would happen if I stepped forward and, right, took the reins on that one, right? I accepted when somebody told me my place or told me I wasn't good enough, smart enough, pretty enough, skinny enough. I accepted all that. I allowed that disrespect, right? That is a disrespect. And I'm not saying that, that we're supposed to blast and, right, start arguments and tear new ones. I'm not saying that. But when those values of mine come into conflict with some of those ideas about turning the other cheek, and we talked about that this week too, right? That is not being genuine as to who I am, because I accepted that's the way it was going to be, right? I wasn't going to cause waves. I wasn't going to overly express my own opinions. I wasn't going to push back when somebody pushed me, right? So I had to look at this word today in that idea that, you know, I talk about accepting my place, but where where is that? When we have this word acceptance this week, and I'm talking about being genuine, and all I'm doing is just downplaying my convictions and not sticking up for myself, right? Maybe not sticking up for others. I don't know if I recognize that I do that myself. But, in contemplation, I have to cover all of those bases, right? I don't want to be that person that people could just railroad, that people can just say, this is how it is. And I'm just supposed to choke on that, right? Without having an opinion myself, right? I get it. I'm not asking anybody to believe or support me in my beliefs. I'm not, right? But at the same token, nobody can expect me to, right, do that same thing for them. I would never ask anybody to do anything that I'm not willing to do myself. And if I were to do that, it would be a fair trade. It wouldn't be a contract, but it'd be a fair trade, right? I couldn't knock on that person's door and ask for help. You did that for me. I'm so grateful. I'm going to bake you onion buns. I know how much you like onion buns. I'm going to bake you onion buns. That's a different story, right? But when we consistently, right, are not genuine and we utilize the people and the situations that we are in to serve us, that's not genuine. And I have to recognize that, because if we had this word integrity last week and now we have this word acceptance, when we had this word acceptance for on the 8 weeks ago, 2 months ago from now, right? We had that word acceptance, and I knew right away that, right? Not during the live, but I knew after I ended the live, I says, wow, it just seems to me that we talked quite a bit about this word acceptance. And I even knew that we were talking about it in, accepting our fates, accepting our situations, not moving towards what we believe in, not standing up for what we believe in, right? To step aside so that somebody else who wants to take charge can take charge, because we just don't want to cause those waves. We don't want to be in that conflict, right? We're turning the other cheek. And that goes against my values, like, right? That's not part of my integrity, right? My values are all tied up in my integrity. And if I were to be accepting, right, of my state, right? Just my state in life, right? To be saying, okay, this is how it is, right? This is the way it's going to be for the rest of my life. Accept it, Cindy. No, right? No. Life is always changing, and I'm moving forward, and I don't know how things are going to fall into place sometimes. But I can't lower my values. I can't allow those boundaries that I set up for myself. I set them up for myself just as much as I set them up for anybody else, maybe even more, because I know that I will crash in a moment. Right? Yeah, it's like that story. Is it three little pigs? I'll hop and I'll puff and I'll blow your house down, right? But I'm so non-confrontational, so please don't blow my house down, right? Let me open up the doors. Let you in. Take what you want. Can I cook you dinner? Right? So we have acceptance. So I'm going to look at acceptance a little bit different this week, right? Maybe it's a little bit of, I don't know, tough love. Maybe it's a little bit of right, practicing, right? Some of those lessons that I'm supposed to have absorbed, right? Maybe there's going to be a couple of tests this week. Somebody will test me and I'll have to test right back, but not in a confrontational way, but in a solid, confident, and right, maybe brave, right? Because we are non-confrontational. There's a reason we're not non-confrontational, right? We don't like that kind of energy coming at us. It frazzles us, right? It frazzles us, and when we get frazzled, well, we don't make good decisions, do we? It's hard to stay positive when we're unraveling, right? So I think I'm going to be grateful that we got this word acceptance again this week. Oh, you like the onion buns. I make the most amazing onion buns. I only use that as an analogy, Malvin, because my brother-in-law, my sister's boyfriend, I made onion buns for them, and he's been talking about these onion buns for months. And I thought, oh my goodness, right? I better make him some more onion buns. And I bumped into him this weekend. He came by the store and we had a small chat, and he just said he loved the onion buns. I made him a whole pan of onion buns. He said he lived on it all week. I says, I meant to tell you to get some cold cuts and cheese because my onion buns are absolutely amazing with cold cuts and cheese. Hello, Nancy there. Hello, Nancy. How's your week going? Thank you so much for popping in. How's the data? I understand that you have limitations when it comes to the data that you have, but I sure appreciate that you save, those couple of gigabytes to pop in and hang out with me. That was really sweet of you. I really appreciate it. You came in at the end of my live tonight a little bit. We were just talking about, you know, we had this word acceptance, right? That we got this week, and we picked it yesterday, but I didn't realize that, 8 weeks ago we picked this word. It was our 15th word, acceptance. So we're doing this word acceptance for a second time this week. And I think, there'll probably be some good lessons in that. I'm already delving into that in my contemplation, and it kept me busy all day. Kept me busy all day. It's data on the phone I have to be careful with. It's the computer internet that was down for 2 days. Oh, I see. I see, Nancy. I have to go tomorrow to get my new phone. I lost my phone. I've been pretty good at not losing my keys, not losing my phone. But, it was a good run. It was a really good run. I think I'm in year number 3 with that phone. Great phone. But I'm looking forward to the new Pixel 8. So I'm going to go and get that taken care of tomorrow, I think. Oh, Nancy, the flu. I'm sorry. Sorry to hear that. I know it's all over the place here too. I'm trying to be careful, but lots of people, most people are pretty relaxed now with the face masks and taking those extra precautions and stuff. But if I remember, right, if it comes across my mind, if it becomes a thought, I'm on it with the hand sanitizer and a face mask. But everybody at work is sick. I don't know why I haven't gotten sick yet. I'm not arguing. I'm grateful for my good health. I'm definitely grateful for my good health, but everybody has been coming down. I'm sorry to hear that. Oh, Nancy. Oh, you know, I've been to Seattle many times. My dad was a compulsive gambler. We lived in Vancouver. Every month he was driving down to Reno and Vegas, and we always drove through Seattle. I've been to the Space Needle several times too, right? I can't imagine that it's changed that much. Maybe Seattle, the city, right, is rough, but every city is having issues right now, right? Even our city here, it's 40 below zero, and our homeless are outside. We're going to have a really, well, it's only minus 14 Celsius right now, but our homeless are really, really struggling. We've already had two deaths in our homeless community, right? But this is going to be a tough couple of weeks coming up for us. And every city is different, so the problems are going to be different. But right, homelessness, right? Oh, I get it, Nancy. When I go to the grocery store, the price of the meat is twice as much as it has ever been, right? I'm paying so much money, like double, more than double the price for margarine or butter or dairy products. Like, the prices are insane. The governments are giving us incentives. I think we have another incentive coming in tomorrow, and I think another one on Friday, to help the low incomes with their bills and their groceries. But the homeless people, it's a tough one because we're picking up the slack on the groceries, right? I can't afford to, you know, cover the homeless people who are right, stealing from the grocery stores. And not only that, it's a business, right? People are actually buying products off of these homeless people who are stealing them from the grocery stores. And you know I don't know how I feel about that. I mean, it's the times that we live in, and I am an opportunist myself. An opportunity comes across my path, I'm not gonna give it a second thought. I'm gonna give it a third, fourth, fifth, sixth, and seventh thought, right? 100%. I'll not brush that off. Yeah, the meat is so expensive right now. Here in Canada, we're paying, I was at the supermarket yesterday, $5.99 a pound for ground beef, right? But they alternate the sales, right? One week they'll do beef, one week they'll do chicken, one week they'll do pork, and then the next week they'll do like the bacons and the wieners and the sausages and that kind of stuff. So there's always some kind of meat that you can get on sale. But man, the prices are so high, right? I'm trying to keep extra products in the cupboards, like to buy a little bit bulk. I bought bulk pasta, I bought bulk rice, I bought bulk coffee. Big Every time I have some extra money, I buy a big tin of coffee, right? So I'm trying to do a little bit of taking care of myself for some possible tough times. I don't know if those tough times are coming, but it's in that preparedness that we might be okay for at least a little while, right? Oh, I was watching a program. It was a documentary, and they were saying, like, all the wars, all the worst moments and crashes in time were instant. We didn't get any notice. We didn't get any notice that says, right, stock market is crashing tomorrow, right? Dust bowl, recession, right? We didn't get any notice that COVID was coming. We didn't get any note. right? We didn't get any notice about what's going on with the Ukraine and right earthquakes and like these things just happen. And sometimes if we're prepared, it can at the very least give us some maybe momentary comfort, maybe momentary head start, right? Just like I have my safety bag up on top of my closet there that has everything that I could possibly think that I might need in an emergency. Everything. It's super heavy, but it's got everything and I got it all compact into a bag like that, right? For the back of the vehicle. And if something happens, right? Besides my cat, grabbing my cat, oh, won't that be something? End of the world comes and Cindy's heading out to the bush with her safety bag and her cat carrier. Oh, that's so funny. That's so funny, right? But so the truth, right? I love my cat and my cat has gotten me through some really rough, difficult, scary times that I was totally confused and she just kept me company and made that whole process, right? The very least I gotta take her with me just in case I need a drumstick. I'm teasing. I'm teasing, but I would do my very best to take care of my cat. I'd have to feel out the situation. If I knew there was no hope, there's no use in right her hitting the road with me in my snowshoes. There wouldn't be any point in that, right? And I wouldn't have qualms in taking care of that situation if I had to, right? Um, but yeah, we're not looking that far ahead. We're just looking about stockpiling a little bit, if for nothing else, when the prices double again, right? It's going to be crazy. It's going to, right? You like those hickory sticks? I loved your videos, Nancy. I thought they were absolutely amazing. I just laughed. Oh, I was such a belly laugh when you were eating those ketchup chips. Ketchup chips are they're my favorite. I know they're a little sour and stuff, but they are fabulous. And yeah, they make your tongue and your lips all red. You don't need lipstick after eating a bag of ketchup chips. But, maybe another time I'll send you a party pack of the hickory sticks because it looked like you really enjoyed the hickory sticks. Yeah, it's a popular one. It used to be one of my dad's favorites, hickory sticks, and I used to eat them quite often when I was a teenager because they would take so long to eat a bag of hickory sticks because they're just little sticks, right? So they would take so long to finish a bag of hickory sticks. So it was a good treat in order to not overstuff myself, right? Yeah, I'll send you some more of those hickory sticks and then maybe try a few other things that you've never tried before, like the Turkish delight, Big Turk. That's one of my favorites too. It's a chocolate bar, but it's jelly. It's like, those fruit candies, but it's really soft and then it's dipped in chocolate. Oh, it's really, really good. Turkish delight, if you've ever had Turkish delight before, but we call them Big Turks, and it's a chocolate bar here. But right, and I'll send you some butter tarts. I'll send you a few things that you haven't tried, and I'll send you some more Menards. You seem that you like the Menards. Maybe at around Halloween time, maybe I could do something like that because at Halloween, Menards makes the little packages to give out to the kids, and then I can send you a big bag, and they'll last you forever because then you can just take a little pack out whenever you want to. So maybe that's what I'll do. But I'm glad you enjoyed. I'm surprised you got three videos out of that little box that I sent you. Yeah. Thank you for including me, right? Sending me pictures of all the kids wearing the outfits and stuff. So that was really nice. Right? But yeah, I thought it was amazing, Nancy. I just laughed my guts out when you're reading those ketchup chips. It was so funny. And the thing is, you were looking forward to them so much. You were really, and it's funny too because most people who try the ketchup chips really like the ketchup chips. And you were the first person that I saw who did a review on the chips who didn't like the ketchup chips, right? Oh, I'm glad you like that, Nancy. I just want to show you. It's just, just letting people know who contribute, to my life, right? Right? Keeping me on the right track, keeping me company, right? And me keeping you company. It's just like, right, we're building on those relationships online, right? Oh yeah, I knew you'd like the sunglasses because I know for myself, whenever those sunglasses come up, I grab them because they're 25 to $30 a pair for those glasses that you put over, right? Because lots of people they have to wear special sunglasses because they wear glasses, right? So I have to wear those ones that will go over my eyeglasses. And I have to wear glasses, especially when I'm driving and stuff, right? So I could see the road and stuff. So I knew you were gonna like those sunglasses, Nancy. Oh, right. The purse too. Yeah, that was a good one. And your engineer hat. You said you liked your engineer hat, right? Yeah, Nancy likes trains. So I tried to think. But that's the thing, when you use your thoughts and you put yourself in other people's shoes, because that's what I did when I sent those gifts to Nancy. I thought, what would Nancy like? What would she like? What would she appreciate? What could she use? Right? She knew a few of the things that I was going to send her, but she didn't know all of them. But I just used my taste and what I knew about Nancy and, right, tried to hit the nail on the head in what I sent her. I didn't do such a good job on the ketchup chips, but she asked for the ketchup chips. So that's what she got. Okay, so before I head out, just to tie this back into this word acceptance, and maybe tomorrow I'm going to get into it a little bit more and look at it in this idea of not holding my boundaries, right? Not sticking to the things that I believe in, right? To accommodate and fit in for others, right? I've always been such a chameleon in my life, that, right? I wanted to be liked. I wanted to fit in. And, as an obese child, teenager, adult, sometimes it's hard to fit in, right? Especially when you want to be in with the in crowd, right? And I have no idea how I managed to do that. But I think of it, probably the big part of it was my genuineness and my eagerness to adapt, my eagerness to be that chameleon and to fit into somebody else's life rather than allowing other people, right, to maybe, right, mesh with mine, to fit in with mine, that I was always too super accommodating, right? That word acceptance that we got this week, that maybe, right, I shouldn't be so accepting in my beliefs, in my values. That is, I think, a sin to myself, isn't it? Right? If I preach that we should be, right, moving forward with our own values, right? For me, these values of kindnesses, right? These understandings that it takes all kinds to make the world, right? Not just to practice tolerance, but to practice understanding, right? By putting myself in other people's shoes. And I did that, right? In accepting my place and trying to fit in. I chameleoned. I sometimes lowered myself, right? To fit in. Um, but I think it served me in the end because I got to have those experiences and I got to be able to practice my craft, right? Socially. Because as a natural introvert, I am int- extroverted and introverted both. But I think part of that was that desire to fit in, right? To be able to hang out with the in crowd, to be part of the in crowd. That right, that I was able to pick up some tools along the way that allowed it possible so that I could chameleon and fit in a little bit better, right? And one prerequisite led to the next one, to the next one, and the next thing you know, right? My income depends on the schmoo. That's what I used to call it when I was a waitress. I used to bartend, I used to waitress, and that tip money and waitresses, we depend. We made less than minimum wage, and right, our tips was what put our roof over our head. And you know that practicing my craft, right, in wanting to be part of the in crowd, offered up tools, right, that offered up opportunities for me to get a job, a very high paying job. I was making thousands of dollars a week in this, right? It's a great job bartending. If you're looking to put yourself through college or university, if you want to get a down payment on a house put together, if you need to, right, you want to get married and have a family and a car and all these things, right, as a stepping stone in the game, we'll talk about acceptance and the possibilities that I thought that was as high as I could get. And once I hit that peak, right, which would have been 40 years old, and then somebody cuter would have come along and work half as hard and make twice as much money, right? Yeah. Fitting in. Fitting in. I quite often would let my boundaries slip, right? Let the prerequisites of the lessons that were necessary, right, for me to be able to find people that were like me, right, in my same state. And because I didn't recognize where I was, I just accepted anybody, right, who was willing to hang out with me. And yeah, and being highly sensitive and being empathic that way. Again, we stumble over, we make things comfy for everybody, we don't take ourselves into consideration, right? So, in working with this word acceptance, I'll probably come back tomorrow and show you how tough I am. Okay, you guys. Oh, I love that you love the baby clothes too. Amazing. Amazing, Nancy. That makes me happy. And I'm right. It doesn't make me happy that he likes clothes. What makes me happy is that that box made you happy. So that makes me happy. Okay, you guys, have a great night. We'll see each other tomorrow.